Alrighty guys, I'm back now. I lost at the Seattle Kingdom, but that's not really one of my best tracks. I'm gonna go to St. Louis this time. And this time I'm gonna make a bit of a... I'm gonna go with somebody a little bit more, older rider. That's Pedro Gonzalez. Of course, Pedro Gonzalez from Monterrey, Mexico. An old friend, just like Kyle Lewis. Because Pedro Gonzalez was around the sport of Supercross until probably 2002. Because Pedro was also racing Arenacross after a lifetime of Supercross.
Hello everyone, I'm Art Ekman along with David Bailey, and we're looking forward to a great race tonight. David, it's a wide open field.
It's anybody's race, sort of comes down to how bad you want it.
But here's a little thing. Pedro Gonzalez is one of the first non-top ranked riders that I ever watched on TV. Because at the Orlando Supercross in 1997, he came second to Grayson Goodman in the semi.
This should be a great race.
It's my heat race. This will also be 10 laps, but this is going to be 5 laps. The main event is 10 laps.
The board is up. The board is sideways.
Ooh.
Pedro Gonzalez is in the lead in the first turn.
Over the triple. Triples into that corner. Double. Triple. Splits the last 3. Finish the whoops. And then the triple. And then the whoop section. And coming up into this next turn, this was the stand section. I remember watching the original broadcast, and that was the stand section. And that was a triple before the finish.
2 laps to go. Pedro Gonzalez leading the pack.
Pedro, man, just he's fast enough to run a factory run.
Down is moving up through the field. falls behind now. Down gets by easily.
Of course, Pedro Gonzalez is a runner-up in the 125.
Emmy makes a move on Pichon and takes 5th place.
As I was saying, Pedro Gonzalez is a runner-up in the 125 West.
Drops into 6th place.
125 West Supercross Series. And that was, I believe, it was 1994 that Pedro was runner-up. I don't know who was the title that year.
Gonzalez is the current leader.
Looking smooth.
I believe it was Damon Huffman. The 125 West title. That's Huffman winning 2 125 West championships.
Those sections were standard during the 80s, and I'm glad to see him coming back. The groove through the sand changes drastically every lap. You have to plan ahead.
125.
Number 5, Mikel Pichon is dropping back.
2 125 titles for Huffman in 94 and 95.
Morocco wrestles the lead from Gonzalez.
Before Huffman would move up to the 255 in 1996. Had a great battle with Jeremy McGrath at the Seattle Supercross.
4th place. Number 53, Pedro Gonzalez, still leading.
Of course, you can
is making his move.
Of course, you can see the 1996 Seattle Supercross on McLaw 71's channel. One that Jeremy had to come from last to win.
David Bailey, is block passing considered legal?
Well, it is if you don't intentionally try to knock your opponent off the course. It's part of your natural line. It's cool.
And on my old Mac 49324 channel, I had the 1998 Seattle 250 and 125 main events posted before that account got suspended. I will repost those along with some other.
Pretty big jumps out there, David.
They're scary, Art. I've only seen a few riders attempt quadrupling the rhythm section. That's going to separate the men from the boys.
Along with a few other videos.
Looks like he's going to make this his race from hole shot to flag.
And I did need to upload the 125 main event of the first Pontiac race, but I forgot. Went to the turn beautifully. Got to have to hit the back of Tortelli. Of course, this is the first year that Sebastian Tortelli came to the States full time. A great season going outdoors before a collision with Doug Henry, and Unadilla ended up breaking his wrist, and that forced him to quit for the season.
Oh, they're loving it. Now gives his fans quite a show. Gonzalez getting the hole shot and going all the way to the checkered flag.
Gotta make sure I'm out of the way. But I won the race.
Gonzalez wins the heat and transfers to the main.
Dowd comes by in third. Morocco came by in second. So there's my qualifiers. Pedro Gonzalez, Mike Morocco, John Dowd, and Doug Henry going to the main event. And that leaves 5 through 8 to the LCQ. We're going to find out who those 4 guys are that are going off the LCQ. One is Cross, and that is Jeff Emick, doing color for the Supercross this year. That's in 2007. Larry Ward comes by in 6th. Kishon is in 7th. And it should be Kevin Windham coming through in 8th. Yeah, Wyndham's in 8th. And Ferry and Tortelli will not be making the main event. Tortelli finishes 9th. And Tim Ferry finishes 10th. But of course, but before we end here, since we have a little time remaining, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 1999 250 main event. Morocco got out front after Jeremy briefly took the hole shot, and then it became a battle between Morocco and Jeremy. Jeremy, of course, winning the battle. We also had a pretty surprise performance from Raynard, who was up at the top 5 before finishing in 7th. Of course, McGrath winning his 58th career Supercross race. Morocco finishing 2nd. But I think it took Jeremy until about halfway through to finally get the win. And in the 125 class, Ernesto Fonseca, the rookie, who was a rookie that season, crashed in the first turn, came from 18th to pass Kelly Smith on the final lap. And in fact, he clipped Kelly Smith going through the rhythm section, and Smith was ejected off the bike. Fonseca went on to win his 4th consecutive race, only to lose to Stellards the very next race at Pontiac. I remember it well because I remember watching that race over and over and over. Now, of course, at the end of it all, Kelly Smith wasn't too pleased with Ernesto. And I could understand Kelly being upset and all because he got robbed of his very first Supercross win, and it didn't come until the U.S. Open in 2003, winning the overall. Kelly Smith did win the 2000 125 Mount Morris National, and he wouldn't have a podium until the Redbud National of 2003 when he finished 3rd overall. Well, guys, that will do it, and I'll see you guys for the main event.